Hey, I'm glad you clicked on this video because the exact transformations that you will receive from this video is a shift in how you see your current triggers, your current anxieties, whatever it is that you're thinking about. We are going to shift your relationship with that thing so that it is no longer in control of you. And I'm so excited for this. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Emma. And if you're not a member of this community, you might be thinking, why should I listen to you? That's a very valid question. We don't know each other. So let me introduce myself. I recently went on a walk with my mom, and she was telling me, you know what, Emma, I am so proud of you because for years I was stuck in pits of such deep depression that got so bad that sometimes I would need to go to the ER, if you know what I mean. I watched my father pass away from a malignant brain tumor at the age of 14 on Christmas Day. And since that moment and those years after, I was in such a deep, dark hole and I didn't even realize it because my nervous system was so dysregulated. And I am at a place now where literally last night, I had tears in my eyes because I was filled with so much gratitude for the journey that I have made and the way that my life has completely shifted. I now do research in neuroscience and am surrounded by the most loving, wonderful people I could have ever asked for. But I remember for years having the mindset of, when will this ever end? This is going to last forever. I am never going to get to a place where I feel actually happy. Because the depression, the darkness, the heaviness is always going to come back. Because a nervous system hardwired for chaos will keep you in the exact same cycles, and that should terrify you. And so if this sounds like you, if you have a situation, you have a person, you have thoughts from the past that keep haunting you, I'm so glad you're here. So this 3-step framework that I'm going to walk you through today, grab your journal, open your notes app, will shift your life. We're going to get to the root problem of why your nervous system is hardwired for this and how we can shift it for abundance, how we can shift it so that the things that trigger you right now, you can get to a place where you don't even notice them. Step number 1 is first recognizing the part of you that is triggered. If a friend were to come to you with a trigger like, hey, I feel so hurt right now by this thing. I know it's irrational. It might not make full sense to me right now, but this is how I'm feeling. You would not push them away. You would not say, what is wrong with you? You would not say these things to someone else. And so that is why it feels so strong right now, is because you're pushing it down, is because you're resisting it. So allow that entire sensation to come up. Ask yourself, where do I feel this in my body? Is it in my throat? Is it in my chest? Is it in my stomach? A moment during my life when my nervous system was insanely dysregulated is when an extremely toxic ex of mine who ended things so terribly, and I was constantly trying to seek reassurance or validation or closure from this person. This person was in my group of friends. I was stuck in this illusion that I needed to perform, that I needed to get his validation, get his attention. And since he was in my group of friends, I felt like I had no one to talk to about it. And even worse, I thought that what I was going through, even though I constantly felt that anxiety and that intrusive thinking all the time, I thought that what I was going through was not worth talking to my friends about because I didn't want to cause drama. And so I remember every time I would see this man, my entire throat would clench, my stomach would drop. And you probably know the exact feeling if you bump into someone without expecting it. Or if you see someone where you have unresolved business, where you have unresolved business, unfinished business, unprocessed emotions, when you see them and you get that drop. And so when I was super deep in that, when I would see this man and get that feeling, I remember thinking that that feeling and that response was a problem. So I put a bunch of labels and a bunch of concepts onto myself, such as, you should be over this. Why are you not over this? Why are you getting this response? And I would Google questions such as, how do I get rid of this? What does this mean? And trying to push it down with more information rather than listening to it. To me, it was so painful, and I felt like I wasn't equipped with the tools to face it. So I did everything in my power to push it down. But my love, I'm here to tell you that the trigger that you are experiencing right now, if you don't allow it to fully come up, and you can do it right now, like think about the person, think about the situation, I'm here for you right now, and allow this to come up, because the first step of this process, again, is recognizing that it's there. You need to fully allow it to come up, because even though it feels extremely painful, even though it makes you question so much about yourself, even though it's something that you don't want to deal with, I'm here to tell you, number one, it's human. Not to minimize it. That's me just saying that there's nothing wrong with you and you're not crazy. And number two, this trigger, this emotion filling your body is giving you such good information, because it will lead us into step 2, where we can figure out where this came from. So with this first step, I want you to apply what I call radical acceptance. And I want you to use the mantra, I accept this present moment exactly as is. Because you need to recognize life is nothing but a series of present moments. And so if you are trying to resist and push down this emotion, you are bringing it with you into the next one. Accepting a negative experience as is actually turns it into a positive experience, because you are approaching the present moment with surrender, with that flow, with the acceptance that even though it feels shitty right now, you are still okay. You are being present with yourself. Okay, tea break. How are you? Congratulations on step 1. That is very hard to do. And you'll notice, if you observe and you look around in society, very few people actively engage in being present with their emotions. So step 2, we're going to talk about getting to the root core beliefs of this emotion. In the program that I'm currently building, I talked about a woman that I worked with, let's name her Sarah, and she found herself in the same toxic relationship, even though consciously she knew better. Consciously, she would think thoughts like, I want stability. I want a partner who can show up for me. I want to have a stable, long-term, peaceful relationship. She thought these things consciously. However, since her nervous system was not hardwired for that, she kept finding herself in the chase for male attention, the chase for male validation, which resulted in her sleepless nights, which resulted in her waiting by her phone all day for these men to text her back, which completely made her lose her power because her nervous system was not hardwired in a way that was helpful anymore. And this is why getting to the root beliefs of your subconscious mind is so important, because your subconscious can override logic. If you don't get to the reason why internally your nervous system is so chaotic, you can know something in your conscious mind, but still be held back and still be self-sabotaging from core beliefs that you haven't fully addressed and recognized. And so this is why that really strong, potent emotion from step 1 is so important, because it can tell you that If your triggered self is in a moment where it's dormant. So for example, a lot of people like to keep their triggered selves dormant by escaping via scrolling or drinking or hanging out with friends or distracting themselves. If it is not dormant, if it's in a state where it's active and it's out and it's speaking to you, you can get in a place where you can listen and let it tell you what it is that it believes. And so once you understand and once you can start writing down, okay, this is what my triggered part of myself believes, you can start changing it and hardwiring it. So with Sarah, some of the core beliefs that were driving her behavior were, I need to work hard and I need to chase for love. Or I need external validation because I'm not full and complete as is. Or, and this is a huge one, chemistry equals chaos. And having a stable partner who is emotionally available and mature is boring. So write it all out and recognize, okay, what are the beliefs that my nervous system, that my body, that my actions are still operating on? And once you start to have those beliefs, ask yourself, where did this come from? Your higher self will never send you the energy of confusion, anxiety, or fear. If a thought has the energy of confusion, anxiety, fear, constriction, that is not true. Because what is true will always feel freeing. It will always feel like your higher self essence of joy, peace, light, abundance. Because at your core, when you were a child, before you had any societal programming onto you, you knew that that's what you were deserving of. You inherently came into the world with that knowing. So if you have any beliefs that are doing a disservice to yourself, doing a disservice to your nervous system, and you feel in that fight or flight state, that is a belief that is not inherently yours, meaning it's not true. Step 3. I'm so proud of you for making it this far. This is real deep inner work, my love. Now that you have your core beliefs, now that you have what the deep trigger is, what the real cause is, because whatever is happening in the external world just serves as a mirror. It is a projection to what is actually happening internally. Like, for example, when I was extremely triggered by that one guy, by that one ex that was in my friend group, I thought that if he just left my life and if I didn't have to see him anymore, I wouldn't keep getting that trigger. But that's wrong, because the pattern will just continue to repeat itself like it did with Sarah if you don't actually acknowledge what is going on internally. And so, of course, now you have your beliefs, you have the things that your nervous system is currently believing and acting on, and now you need to show it that that is not reality. And you do that by not waiting for the external and by shifting the internal. This means self-soothing when it arises. It's so easy to be so hard on ourselves and think that we should be a certain way, and why are you not healed yet, and how did you let this stuff happen to you? No, that's just causing more resistance and not allowing that flow of love. Very few people would click on a video like this and make that time and space for themselves to really heal their inner wounds. That is so freaking admirable. Okay, sorry, that was a little rant. Let's continue with step 3, but I just wanted to say that because I see some of your comments sometimes, and sometimes you guys are so hard on yourselves and you don't realize how beautiful you are. And I see the light that you spread and the advice that you give to each other. It's like, you deserve a damn pat on the back. No, not even a pat on the back. You deserve a hug. Let's get on to freaking step 3. I just got so distracted. And this is what makes this practice sustainable. So even after you've left this video and when you're out living your life, having that internal method of self-soothing when that trigger arises. For example, step 1 was a really great self-soothing practice of I accept this present moment fully as is, because you're not trying to fix yourself, you're not trying to force anything, and you are accepting yourself wholly and completely, just like you would for your best friend. For example, if Sarah were to feel like she needs to reach out to one of her exes to get that validation because she doesn't feel whole and complete, that looks like, before instinctively just doing that, taking an extremely deep, intentional breath, shaking off that energy. You guys know how much I love somatic shaking. And saying, I accept this trigger fully as is. I'm seeing it for what it is, and I'm choosing to show my body otherwise. My loves, that is it for this video. I am currently in the process of building a huge program with all of the resources that I've talked about in this video and in my other videos, all in one place with a step-by-step guide and readings and everything. So if you would be interested in that, sign up to get one of my free guides on my store. You'll see either the 10-minute energy shift or the free validation loop healing guide. That signs you up for my Sunday Resets newsletter, which in of itself, I pour so much love into, and you guys love that letter, so thank you for being a part of that tribe. But you'll also get updates as well on when this program is going to be released, because I think it's going to be released very soon and I'm very excited about it. And yeah, let me know how this resonated with you. Tell me your story. I love reading your guys' stories in the comments, and it just fills my heart with so much joy. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye. So this 3-step framework that I'm going to walk you through today will... Oh.